What I have here is Morimito H3C Elite HID kit for the Skyline R32. And the reason I picked this specific brand because it came with all the harnesses, the relays, everything for the car to be secure. It is a really old car, so I really wanted to have something to have a fail safe or something fails, and this one came with the fuse and everything, so this one was just perfect. It has a whole 9 yards, so I decided to go and pull the trigger on this kit, and I finally got it. So I have the ballast here. I'll show you guys everything in a little bit, and of course the HIDs, and of course the best part of it all, decals. Gotta love the stickers, man. It's the best part of the package when it arrives. And what we have here, of course, are the HID bulbs, and I ended up opting for the 6500K instead of the 5500K color, and that is because the 6500K has a little bit more of a blue tint to it, and I've always liked that for some reason. Call me Rice, I don't care, but I've always liked it. And here we have the bulb, of course. The wiring looks really amazing. It looks really professionally done, and it also feels like top quality materials were used on this, so I'm really happy with the buy. And as you guys can see, it's the H3C 6500K. I did a lot of research on these people and on their products, and I've heard nothing but good things about them, so this is another reason why I opted out for it. And the price is a little high, but I say it's totally worth it. We got to see and wait till they're completely on, and maybe that'll change, but I really doubt it because everything is made really good, and I couldn't be happier with this purchase. Let's open up the ballast now, see what we have here. Wow, speechless. Wow, these things are sick. You guys got to check this thing out, man. Wow, this thing looks so sick. It looks like a little circuit board on the design. Wow, that's awesome. That they killed it on this one, man. This thing looks pretty. This is actually one of the best looking ballasts I've ever seen, and that might be because I've always gone the cheaper route with this stuff, but now, man, these things look amazing. These things feel like they're pretty heavy, and they feel like top quality as well. They feel like they're built pretty strong. Next in line, we have the relay harness, and let me open this up real quick, show you guys exactly what this is and what wires come with this. But this is like your main focus. This is what you need to set up first before anything else, so you could tell where all the wires are going to run through. But I'm going to end up connecting all this and show you guys how everything goes on the table before I take it to the car. So right here we have the plug, and here we have the OEM output that goes directly to your lights. Coming up next, we have the battery terminal positive, and the one that goes on negative battery terminal, which is ground, of course. Here we have the other ballast wire that runs across to the other side of the car. Enough with the relay harness. Let's open this up right here. Here we have the capacitor link, and this is like an anti-flicker capacitor link. So this is for newer cars to stop the flickering of the HIDs, but I just got it for mine just in case. And here is a part number for you guys, but it all comes included with the kit that I'm going to link down below, so you guys don't have to look for any of it. I think it's an add-on, so when you check out, you got to make sure you add the capacitor link on, and you have a choice of going. This goes connected to this, of course. We have a choice of going with the relay harness, or you have a choice of going with the CAN bus output. So I just chose the relay harness. CAN bus is more for like newer cars, but I just opted out for the relays, of course. So of course this goes plugged up to the OEM output of the car, and of course it has a ground wire that you connect to ground. And here we have the amp igniters that go directly from the ballast to the HIDs. So we got 2 of these right here. They plug directly to the ballast, and the other part of the igniter goes to the HIDs. We will only be using these 2 wires coming from the HID itself, and we're going to plug those in. The other wires we're going to cut later on in the video. I'll show you guys that. And we're not going to be using the rest of the wires on this HID bulb. I forgot to show you guys this. This wire harness right here goes from the anti-flicker capacitor to the OEM output of the vehicle. So you plug this in where you unplugged your OEM light from, and you got to remember it only comes with one, so one of your OEM light plugs is going to be unplugged, so you're only going to plug this in on one side, and it's going to still make both of the lights work. So let's run through this. This is a relay harness. It's recommended to be installed on the battery side of the vehicle. So this right here is the battery positive battery terminal. This is a negative battery terminal, or you can also connect it to ground. The next wire goes down to the ballast. It's labeled as well. The ballast to the igniter, and the igniter, of course, to the HID. So this next wire right here runs to the other side of the vehicle to the ballast, from that to the igniter, and from the igniter back to the other HID. Here we have the OEM output, which in turn runs to my anti-flicker capacitor, which is here, and then from there it'll go to ground. After that, it will lead to this extension right here that will plug up to the OEM plug on the vehicle. So now that I showed you this, let's get this install started. So this right here is the OEM output for the vehicle, the one where I will be connecting the OEM output from the wire harness to. And as you can see, this is a projector light. So I am going to remove this thing. So in order to remove this, you have to take this clip off, boom, this rubber grommet, take it off, and there's a clip that you pinch together and remove the bulb. This is my game plan right here. So I'm putting the relay harness on this side of the vehicle, running the wires underneath this thing to the ballast, and I have to unbolt this bolt right here, pull this up, run the wires underneath to the ballast, then to the igniter, and from the igniter to the HIDs, of course. So I'm gonna run the other wires from the relay harness underneath the radiator support back to this side right here, and I'm gonna try to put the other ballast somewhere in here underneath the air filter. But if for some reason I can't get it to fit in there, I might just end up I'm gonna have to figure something out. And for all my Skyline GTST people that want to do the same with projector headlights, I don't know if the GTRs are the same, so I'm just going to go with GTSTs. I'm going to remove this bracket right here as well as the clip and try to fit it onto the HID itself. We're going to see if that works out. So I'm going to bend the tabs up, remove this piece, and try to put it on the HIDs. And from the looks of it, it looks like it is going to fit. I'm going to keep this plastic retainer that came with the HID in order to help me hold the HID in place, because the hole for the bracket is a lot bigger than the hole on the black plastic around the bottom of the HID. So I'm going to use this white plastic retainer to hold it in place. So it looks like the white plastic retainer is a little too wide to fit in there, so I'm going to have to trim it up a little bit in order for it to sit right. So before we cut the white retainer, I'm going to show you guys which wires I'm going to cut, like I stated earlier. So I'm going to end up cutting these off. It says it on the install guide. They have an install guide on their website, which is helpful. So I'm going to remove these wires since we will not be using them. I believe they go directly to the ballast if you're not using any of this extra stuff. What I'm doing here is trimming off the sides just enough so the clips could snap in, at the same time leaving enough room up top and bottom for the tabs to hold on to. So I almost forgot to mention, I ended up picking these up from Super Bright LEDs, and these are the 194 wedge type bulbs, SMD I believe they are. I'm not 100% sure, but these are the daytime running lights. I believe they go there. And yeah, they're actually going to match the HIDs due to them being the same color, which would be the 6500K. So I'm going to show you guys how I installed this. This is a relay. I ended up mounting it there. I ran the wiring underneath the fuse box to the ballast, from the ballast to the igniter, and I couldn't really tuck the igniter wire anymore because it wasn't long enough. So this is how it had to stay, sadly. And from the igniter, obviously you can't really see it's down there, but from the igniter down to the HID bulb itself. So I ran the OEM output wire alongside the battery. The wires weren't long enough, so it didn't allow me to do otherwise. Then to the anti-flicker capacitor, the ground wire for that, I ran it underneath the battery folder, as you can see there. From there, I connected to the OEM output of the car, as you can see here. So the green on the OEM part went to the red, which would be power, and then black to black, which would be ground. So the positive battery terminal, I hooked it up to the, obviously, the positive battery terminal. The ground wire I ran through here, through the backside, and followed this wire along here and grounded it out right here to this bolt right here. I did sand it down a little bit to bare metal in order for the ground to catch. I could have also grounded it right here to the negative battery terminal. I guess I didn't think of that till now. Also, as I stated earlier, I ran the other ballast wire through here, through the side of the battery again, underneath the radiator support, all alongside the radiator support. I did zip tie it here so it wouldn't touch the radiator, and zip tied it to the wire right here. I also zip tied the ballast here due to the fact that the wires weren't long enough to reach all the way underneath the air intake, and also so water wouldn't get inside the ballast, I put it facing downwards, I guess you could say. And this right here is the 3-prong wire I told you will not be using. This is the OEM output. As you can see, the red and black wire connected to the high beams is still connected. I just disconnected this one. Alright, so as you guys can see the outline of the bulb on to the awning. I don't know if that's normal or not, or maybe I have to flip the bulb upside down. But in this case, I can't, because the bulb only goes in one direction inside the light. So I might have to trim that off. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and test this out once I get my seats. I'll test this out for you guys and take it on the road and see if I need to adjust anything. But for now, it's going to have to stay like that. I can't really tell until I actually take this for a drive on the streets, and I can't right now due to my seats not being in the car. So once I get my seats back, I'll go ahead and take it out for a spin. Man, I gotta say, they came out really good, and I love how they look like really blue when you're turning them on. But obviously, once they charge up, they're gonna turn like more of a white color, kind of like the corner light next to the projector. As you guys can see there, that light is a little bit whiter than the projector, and that's a color that light will turn. And I gotta say, this kit was actually worth the money, and I'm really happy with it. It's just a bulb issue that I gotta fix. And once I get my seats back on, I will make a video, an update for you guys on how these lights work at night, and if there is a problem, on again end up switching the bulbs around and show you guys how I do all that. I might have to trim the inside of the light with a Dremel, but for now these things look amazing. And I completely forgot to do it before and after, and I promise I'll try to do that more in the future. But once again, thank you guys so much for watching. The lights came out good. Once again, Ed Range, peace.